All right, I want to show you some table settings real fast on this Eastwood 2x2 table because I absolutely trashed like $40 or $50 worth of metal today on this crap. This washout stuff where it don't cut all the way through, and I had to figure out how to get that to cut, and I want to show y'all exactly how I just successfully cut 1/4 inch plate. Now, I've been cutting 1/4 inch plate for the past 6 months off and on. I changed between 16th, 8th, 3/16, and 1/4 is pretty much like the commons that I cut. And it seems like between changing settings or moving stuff around or moving metal around or tweaking stuff, somehow every month or two I lose my settings and I have problems cutting the 1/4, and I always forget how to get back to that setting. So that's what I want to show y'all, is how we cut the 1/4 and how we fix a part if you mess up a part and it washes out, or it loses arc, or your compressor trips and you move the button, whatever. If you are cutting a big complicated part and you lose your position and you need to get back to that same position, you know, to finish that part and not have to just move over and recut that part, that's what I'm about to show you. All right, so this part right here was washed out. Okay, it was doing this, all right, washing out over the metal. I took and figured out what I was doing wrong, and I was able to successfully cut my part. Now, my part's kind of big, so being this was washed out in 2 areas, let me take the arrows and move the machine out of the way and show you where the washout was. I just figured this out, so I want to share it with other people that's using the Eastwood machine. All right, it was washed out through here. You can kind of see where all of it's a little bit more of the slag or whatever build up, and then it was washed out up through here. All right, and you can actually see where I restarted my cut right there, how it gets fatter. So let's take this piece of metal. We're going to completely move this thing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and line it up off of the side of my table. This is what I always do. I get one side nice and square, or you can use a tape measure. All right, that way I know that my plates are always square with my table. So at least that's working in my favor. All right, pretty close. So now you know that when you're starting a cut, you take your arrows and your machine and you move it to where you want to start at. Okay, so we're gonna guess where I started my cut at. And I remember normally I try to cheat and do it like crazy close to the edge because I know I'm gonna go in a little bit. So I think that might be where my cut was at, but obviously I just moved the table all around, so we don't know exactly where zero's at with this Eastwood machine. If we're trying to retrace a part precisely, there's no way to get it. So we're gonna be in demo mode. All right, hit G. We're gonna be in demo mode. We're gonna hit go, and we're gonna start our cut. Okay, and then we're just gonna come right here. All right, so I just hit the red button. I just clicked the red button to stop that cut. Look how far we are off, okay? Our first cut is this circle inner piece. So we need this nozzle to match that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our arrows and we're gonna move. I'm gonna push my arrows, all right? And we're gonna move this nozzle. Zoom in. All right, wrong way. Sometimes my arrows get all backwards. Okay, that looks really good right there. Okay, now we're gonna hit the green button and we're gonna watch this pattern. I'm gonna hold the camera on this and I'm gonna hold my left hand on the red button. If it runs off or if it looks off, I'm gonna stop it. I'm still in demo mode. All right, I'm not trying to cut this because this successfully cut earlier. All of this cut fine. It washed out in this curve. That's where my problems are. So we're gonna hit the green button. So now that we hit the green button to start our cut back, it's gonna tell us that basically we have moved our machine. All right, you can see right here. The green arrow is where it's at. We've moved our machine up, and it's saying, do we want to offset it? Do we want it to redo basically where it's at? So we're gonna click yes, or we're gonna go down to offset. That's what you're gonna be seeing. We're gonna hit enter. All right, so it gave us a new red line. So even on the machine, we look really, sorry with the focus, we look really good. You can see our adjustment. There was how bad we were off, and now we're adjusted back on. So now we hit the green button, and now it's gonna run up. Now we're gonna look down this. Okay, look how bad we're off. and I hit the red button with my left hand. All right, so now we need to fix our left and right. So we got this way set. Now we need to set this way. So I'm going to take my left hand with my buttons, and we are going to, I'm going to get you out of 0.5 mode. That looks right. All right, see how that looks right? All right, now that we've lined it up with our arrows, we've lined it up this way because we're using our part of our part that cut correctly. That's the important piece here, is that this cut fine, it washed out later. And then we moved a bunch of stuff, or if you lost your position, whatever. We're gonna hit the green button. It's gonna give us that option again. We're gonna go to offset. Offset cutting, enter. Here's our new, look, now we've set our left to right. All right, that's how far it was off. That's where we were at originally. We moved it over. So now we're gonna hit our green button again, and it's gonna start back cutting, and we're just gonna watch it, all right? We're gonna flip around, and we're gonna watch it like this. So we look like we're running straight up it. All right, now it's gonna start that cut. So we're gonna check it that way, and now we're gonna start checking it this way. Now this one's curved, so it's a little harder for the camera to see it. But we're gonna just keep watching it and making sure that it looks like it's following the correct line and that it's not off or anything, all the way till right before it gets to the washout. All right, now I'm gonna put my hand on the red button over here, right there. Red button, I just stopped it. So this is where, if you look, this is where I re-pierced my cut. Now again, my plate gets welded. So what we're doing here is, this is actually getting a weld across it to a frame, and this is getting a weld. So my plate doesn't have to be that precise. So that little bit off right there, the distance, the difference in the thickness or the setback of that plate, if I can get you a good shot, okay, that doesn't matter to me at all. It's all gonna get a big weld across it. So now we think we're good, all right? Now I'm not gonna actually recut this plate again, but should I for the thing? All right, screw it, I'll do it again. All right. So now what we're gonna do, it's remapped, it's turned green. Sorry about the reflection, bear with me. All right, it's turned green. Now we're gonna get out of demo mode. Man, I better not mess my plate up again. Out of demo mode, all right, so now we're hot. We're in that. So when we hit this green, this thing's gonna fire, it should fire up. And it should line up exactly where it was at. I'm gonna do this again for y'all. This is a large piece. Green, all right, she's gonna fire. All right, it lost arc because it's blowed out so big because I was trying to do that for y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead, well actually we'll let it pause and I'll show you how precise it is. So being it was just completely blowing through that crack and not cutting nothing, it completely cut itself off or lost its arc because look how big that gap is. All right, it literally blew that thing, blew that thing freaking clean. All right, so that's how you do it. When that blowout was there, it didn't lose arc. It successfully recut it all the way through for the second time, and it literally worked. All right, and I just wanted to share that. Let's see here. The nozzle's also stuck pretty far down, I think. Let's just go to 6. Well, let's get in demo mode, just for safety. So we'll hit the 6, and that's going to make sure that we're up. You can also hit nozzle up. Let's see here. What was it? S, I think. S plus the up. Yes. So if you hit the S plus the up, that will move your nozzle up. So now we're clear of all the blowback. And now we can just simply take our arrows, all right, and move this sucker out the way so that we can take our plate off the table or get our part out. I'm sure this part's going to be a little stuck right here from it, all the cutting it twice. Let's see here. Grab a glove. I'm not trying to make this video all pretty and cut this out. because I want to help people. So there you can see where it originally didn't cut all the way through, but this time we sliced it through. So there is how you save a part if you are cutting something big. That's a pretty big piece of 1/4 inch steel for me. This stuff's not cheap, and whenever it fails a cut like that and something goes wrong, either your arc fails or your air pressure fails, or you accidentally hit the wrong button during a problem and it goes back and you lose your spot, the only option that originally I knew how to do before now, and I've had this table for about 6 months or so, is I would literally have to move somewhere else on the table and recut that part if one messed up. And I just got kind of sick of it. With these larger parts, I was like, there has got to be a way to eliminate this crap with this table. There's got to be a way for us to save these parts and not have to completely just start over, especially when you're spending this type of money on 1/4 inch plate or whatever. The stuff's it's not cheap. They don't give it away, that's for sure. So hopefully that helps somebody. Let me know in the comment section if that helped you out or if you found it interesting. If you want real fast, let me show you my settings that we just cut that 1/4 on. Why not, right? We're in this video. So let's escape in cutting. Let's see here. Setups, which was F4. And then speed, F1. All right, so there is my settings that I just cut this plate on. If you want to screenshot that, okay? These right here, I know these two right here, they don't affect none of the cutting. Let's go to system. I think I've left it alone from what was in the table. There's nothing in there. Plasma, here is what I have done with the plasma. All right, so if you want to screenshot that under F4, and then control, I think I've left alone. You can compare to yours and make sure. And THC, torch height control. All right, so that's what we just made that cut on. Now, see your escape, go back. Here is all of my settings right here that we just cut that plate on. Let's see here, the IHS, you'll have to mess with that. I set my IHS really low. I was running at 0.5 and it wasn't cutting, okay? So if you basically are new like I was, let me show you real fast. I'm trying to help somebody out. I don't care about the quality of this video. So here's 3 different pieces of metal. And they're all at different heights. See that, okay? So that's like thin 16ths, 3/16ths, and 1/4. So if I was in demo mode, which is G, and then when I hit 6 in demo mode, this is what it does. So hit 6, and it doesn't come up. It just goes down and touches the metal. So if you get out of demo mode, now you're hot, and you hit 6 to run. Number 6 is to run an IHS test. All right, so if we push 6 right now, it's gonna come up. Push 6 again, it's gonna go down, touch the plate, and come up. So that's our height. So we want to bring that down to get that nozzle down. I really hope this helps somebody. All right, so we can get our 1/4 underneath here all day. So if we come back right here and we do our IHS and we lower it, we'll just go 0.4, I guess. And then push 6 to run a test again. All right, let me show you that. 6, let's see here. 6, down, up, all right. Now our 1/4 won't fit underneath there. But if we grab our 3/16ths, still our 3/16ths will slide underneath there. So now let's go back and let's take our IHS and let's lower it down to 3 and let's push 6. All right, so I'm push 6, down, 0, up. All right, so watch. 6, down, up. Now our 3/16ths won't fit underneath there. Okay? That was giving me problems. So between the 3/16ths or the 1/8, I think that's 1/8 actually, and the 1/4, yeah, that's 1/8. 1/8 and 1/4, I was getting this crap right here. Okay, I could not, it would like penetrate sometimes and washout wasn't doing it. So it took going all the way down to this thinner stuff. Just the measurements on this. which is stainless steel. I'm not trying to cut this to show legit. So if we pull a tape measure on it, we're like a 1/16. It's the only reason why I'm not editing this video. Our other videos are way better than this. All right, so we can get that 1/16 through there all day long. But we want to bring that nozzle down. So we're going to go to the IHS, and we're going to drop this guy again to 2. All right, we're going to hit the 6. It's going to go 6 down and up. All right, now we can't get the 16th through there. Okay, the 16th, it just went through there, but now it don't. You definitely ain't getting a 1/4. We are way low compared to 1/4 inch. So we've dropped that torch height. That's what that does, is that drops your torch height down. By lowering that down for me to 0.2, that's what allowed me to get this clean cut, where it cut this 1/4 inch plate, all right, after all this troubleshooting. The reason why I show that part is because depending on if your metal is warped up or arched up, or if you have a piece in the table that's making it set up, you can't copy my IHS measurement possibly, because your table could be different. Your metal could be at a different height. So you're going to have to, that's the only one you're not really be able to copy, is you're going to have to set your IHS so that it actually is down lower. And if you've been cutting, we cut 16th, 3/16, 1/8, and 1/4 is like what I cut a ton of. All right, we've just been cutting the piss out of stuff. This table's good. It's well worth the money. I absolutely love this table. You're gonna have to set yours so that it's down kind of tight, but I can physically force it underneath there. So you're gonna have to set yours at what you do. I've got a bucket that I keep all the scraps in. All right, the little pieces that come out of it, and that's all I did is I took some scraps and I cleaned them up. I need to write on them what they are. I can remember them, right? And I'm just gonna put them in my toolbox. These are gonna be my height setters that I'll be able to figure out. I keep a little box down here that's got all the stuff that I commonly need on this table, and that's gonna set everything for me moving forward. So let me know if this helped you out or if you just found it interesting. I struggle. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm self-taught, and I struggle with finding information on this table on the internet that's very basic for dummies. This video probably won't pull good views right out the gate, but hopefully long term it will help people. Hopefully people will find it. If you know somebody with an Eastwood table, maybe send it to them if they're a beginner DIY guy like myself, and hopefully we can help each other out. If you have any advice, let me know in the comment section, because I'd love to learn more. Hit the like button, small thank you, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Thanks, y'all.